Okay. I've done the problem over here, but I'm going to do it again and work through it with y'all. The first thing that we're going to look at is that these formulas are describing how we graph this function when x is greater than 1 or x is less than 1. So just to kind of keep in our mind where we are, we're going to go to x is 1, and we're going to kind of put a line all the way up and down the x-axis. The main reason for this is what we're wanting to see is that when x is less than 1, so everywhere through here, we're going to be using this formula. And then when x is greater than 1, everything over here, we're going to use this formula. So just to kind of keep it nice and neat, I'm going to write which formula goes where. So everything less than 1, I'm going to have over here that the function of x is equal to 2x plus 1. And then over here, I'm going to have the function of x is equal to negative 2x plus 3. Okay, so the next thing we have to do for each formula, we're going to go and for the first one, we're going to plug 1 in for the x for the formula. The reason we're plugging 1 is because we're looking at if it's greater or less than 1. So what we do for the formula, we'll rewrite it as the function of x is equal to 2 times, remember we're using this 1 for x, 1 plus 1, and we get, when x is 1 basically, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So we're saying that when x is equal to 1, then y is equal to 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come and we're going to find the place where x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, yeah. Okay, so that's going to be one spot on our first line. It does happen to line up on, well, it should line up on 1 where we marked. So just kind of, I'm going to explain what to do there in just a sec. So just hang tight, but that's only one line. And to have a proper full line for this function, we're going to need another line. So what we do is we're going to need to plug in another number and find y for another number. It doesn't really matter what that number is, but it has to be less than 1. So I would pick the easiest number, and I'll go ahead and pick 0. So f of x, or we're looking for the function of x, is 2 times 0 plus 1. So that is 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1. So that is 1. So what we're saying is when x is 0, because remember that's what I just plugged in just to get another point. When x is 0, y is 1. So now we'll come here and we'll do when x is 0, so right here, then y is 1. So that's going to be our other dot. So now we've got 2 dots that we can make a line with. But remember that the formula we used is this one right here because it's for everything less than 1 on the graph. So we're not going to need to mark it. If you did need to, just for your own mind, mark it up here, it would be this line. But what we really need to mark is only the part where x is less than 1. So you're going to go through and your line's going to be there. Now we have to get the function of x on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and on the second one, we are going to do negative 2x plus 3 if x is greater than 1. So the first thing we're going to do, the same as the other, is plug in this 1. So we're going to do fx is equal to negative 2 times 1 plus 3. And that is equal to negative 2 plus 3, and that is equal to positive 1. So what that is saying is when x is equal to 1, y is also equal to 1. So we're going to come here and we're going to plot that. And we're going to do when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. And that will be our dot. Okay, and then we need to plug in another number. Now this time we have to remember the number we plug in and we give x just to get another point, it has to be greater than 1. So to keep it easy, I'll just plug in 2. And I'll do f x is equal to negative 2 times 2 plus 3. Oh, oops. So that's going to be negative 4 plus 3, or that's going to be negative, is that right? 2, 4, negative 4. Yeah, negative 1. Okay, so what that's meaning is when x is equal to 2, and that was just a number that we plugged in, remember, because I was trying to find something greater than 1. So when x is equal to 2, y is equal to negative 1. And then we're going to come and get our second line, which is when x is 2, then y is negative 1. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And then on this line, we are not going to want to do it on this side of the line because this is the equation for when x is greater than 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here and our line's only going to go this way. And that is it. That is all that you do for these. I can work a few more because it really does take practice. It's just not necessarily hard. It's just tedious and annoying.